Welcome to Sunday Night Live. Let's give this a minute for people to come on in. So welcome to Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It. If you hear talking, sorry, it's them out there. They just got a phone call. Now they're awfully loud. Let's make sure that YouTube knows that I'm live. Hello, Shelly and Anthony. How are you, darling? Just reaching for something. How are you, my friend? I hope that you had a great weekend. Hello, Paul Honeyman. How are you, my friend? Let me pause this. Figure out how to do this. Okay. Hi. How are you, Paul Honeyman? Shelly and Anthony. Welcome in. Welcome in. I just got like this frantic call from Boone Child, our girl, who was saying like, I don't want you to think, I forgot about you. I've just been so crazy. I love you. We have to catch up. She's actually out of town. She doesn't want me to think that she's leaving me like Lauren did way back in the day when I started lives. This girl Lauren used to be a moderator, and she just dropped off the face of the planet. So, Boone, we love her. I love her. So, how is everyone? How you feeling, Paul? Ugh. So let's see. Gotta wait for this to get out there. Make sure I'm live on YouTube. And I'm sure Mr. Garden State Gardener is probably still live. So, yeah. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I was holding this up in the picture, like, real quick, Flock Party sent me Veggies and Soldiers, a nutritious, delicious poultry treat for my chickens. So I will be doing them all, a video and a mail call from Flock Party. So thank you, Flock Party. I greatly appreciate it. I've never even bought this for my chickens before. It's a blend of black soldier fly larvae, sweet potatoes, and dried tomatoes. Interesting. But yay, it's from Flock Party. So I'll put a video out for them this week. Greatly appreciated. Getting tired, but when my meds kick in again, I should be okay. Okay, good to hear. So, yeah, let me see if I can share this out. Let me see. Just hang tight, folks. Come hang out. Oops. I'm just learning how to do some of this stuff. Okay. Post. All right. I just shared myself out. So hopefully people get the notification. But that's exciting to be able to do, a video, maybe possibly business with Flock Party. That would be awesome. So this is what came in the box. Apparently they sent me out other stuff, but I never got it. So thankful to have this big bag because if you know, chickens love mealyworms and they're so expensive that I had a little bag that was left and they just went through it because they were fighting really bad yesterday. So I gave them the rest of them. And I have to go for more blood work tomorrow. So tomorrow morning. So should be fun. And Tuesday I'm getting my car inspected. My son's supposed to show up to get it. And I loaned my car out all Saturday to my Jarrett, whose birthday was May the 26th. I don't say it right, but he went to Conicom, the comic thing. He stood in a line from 2:30. I think he said close to 5 hours just to meet the person that does Dragon Ball Z. 5 hours. He did take my Gavin with 3 gas smell. Okay, well, that stinks. This is starting to become a problem, because he's running over and it's interfering with my live and I don't know what to do. I don't know if maybe I should go earlier. I mean, I used to be 8 o'clock, 8 to 10. I don't know. So, in case you all don't know, Mr. Garden State Gardener goes live from 7 to 9. Then I go from 9 to 11. But he's doing this new thing where he interviews people and he just never ever gets off on time. So, sorry about that, folks. And for the people that watch this back, it is what it is. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, so my Jared took my grandson for company. He drove down to Center City and, apparently it was packed. Like all these people, I guess, for comic books, and Fonzie was there. Oh, he met Doc from Back to the Future and Michael J. Fox. So, yeah, he had a good time. I'm glad he made it there. It's a shame that he had to stand on the line for 5 hours. He said his legs were killing him and he was ready to quit and give up and just leave, but he didn't. He stayed and he said, probably after I get this autograph, I'm going to be out. Because Jared's in all that kind of jazz, so he really wanted to meet the person. So, nonetheless, that is that. So, this is awkward. We have, 2 people, 3 thumbs up. He's got Indiana Backyard Gardener, Best Yet Journey, and another guest. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I wish he would have gave me a heads up, because I'll be honest with you, there's some Sundays I'd like to just take off. I'm sure Paul might feel the same way, And, missing a Sunday isn't the worst thing in the world, but, I mean, it hurts my pocket, but it's a little awkward when there's only a few people in because Mr. Joe has everyone over there. So I don't know how to handle this situation. I don't have it figured out yet, but I would have definitely have taken the night off tonight if I would have known he was going to be running over yet again. I think last week he didn't get done till like 9:45. So I guess I'll just tell you what's going on and we'll just play it by ear and see how it goes. Even if I call this early. So, didn't have my SUV all day yesterday, so just told you that. That was Jared's birthday gift. He's going to have a car very soon, like in the next few days. So, his birthday gift from me was to go down there, use my vehicle, have a good time. A lot of problems with the chickens on Saturday. I heard some aggressiveness and I was like, hey, knock it off. And I saw 3 chickens bullying one of my other chickens. So I had to physically go over there to break that up, which was crazy. Got them 2 bags of feed on Saturday, 50-pound bags. I think my can holds 3 50-pound bags. So 2 50-pound bags of feed and one 20-pound bag of their black oiled sunflower seeds. So I got them that, but no treats. But Flock Party came through on that with the treat factor. I had bought some rice cakes and was looking forward to smearing some peanut butter on it. And I'm like, it says slightly salted. I was like, what is the matter with these? They were stale. So the chickens enjoyed them today. I gave them the rice cakes today. They seemed a little bit better today. I had them out for some hours today, roaming around, being chickens. But yesterday they were just like fit to be tied. Depending on the schedule for tomorrow, let's see. Joe runs over every week now, Mel. Yeah, I see that. I have Joe on my phone. Sherman Family Farm says they're 1K live now. Okay. A crafting channel is a birthday bash. Busy night on YouTube. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not really going to sweat it too much. The Joe thing, we're going to have to work something out, me and Mr. Garden State Gardener, because I've already changed my time once. Love them to pieces. I'm not bashing them, but I've already changed my time once. Um, so we can accommodate each other. And this new thing of interviewing people, it's just always running over. So anyway, what else? Oh yeah, so the crazy chickens yesterday. Today they were out free ranging for a while. Tomorrow I have to go get another blood test. I had a very rough and bad week. I am suffering terribly from my, what's it called? I really don't know how to pronounce it. I'll try. Raynaud's. There's Raynaud's and then there's Raynaud's phenomenon where your fingers are cold. I've been getting where my hands hurt. I couldn't lift my cup up the other day. I had no strength. My right hand was swollen. I saw some grayness in my fingernails. So I called the doctor's office because literally I was in tears ready to go to the emergency room with my Jared. They didn't seem concerned enough for me to go to the emergency room. And I said to them, well, I've had previous blood tests. Can you pull it up and see if this is showing? And the girl says, this doesn't show in blood tests. So I get off the phone figuring she's a liar. Sorry. And it does say it's not really found in the bloodstream. It takes really in-depth tests in order to find it specifically in blood. But it usually comes from an underlying condition, whether it's lupus, thyroid problem. You see, it was lupus, diabetes, thyroid. Also said an artery problem. So I'm supposed to go tomorrow to have another blood test done on my thyroid. The last test that I had done, they called me and said, well, it's not great, but it's not horrible. So go get another blood test in 4 weeks. Now I'm getting frustrated. Now I'm going to ask the doctor to send me to a specific thyroid doctor and let the thyroid doctor, figure this out. So another blood test tomorrow. I was trying to get an early appointment. I was on their site earlier. Everything was taken. It looks like I can only get in there at 10 o'clock. It'd be my first time out in a while. So me and Miss Debbie are supposed to go get my blood done. I have to stop at, it's like a farm market, like a produce junction here. I'm going to get a bunch of greens for the chickens. And probably Sam's. I would really like to reschedule it for Tuesday, but then I remembered my son Johnny is coming to get my SUV and get it inspected. So, yeah, my hands were so bad that I haven't had a panic attack in years. I'm talking years. And I was legitimately on the floor, crawling out of my skin. Really, really worried. Was getting some chest pains, which is what was going to lead me to go to the emergency room. So I'm just not familiar with this disease. So when you go all the time, I'll give you an example. The one morning I went to go in the refrigerator to pull out the creamer and I went to grab the top and I just couldn't grab it. I literally had to make my brain focus on how I'm going to get that creamer off the shelf in the refrigerator because I'm losing strength in my hands. So it's definitely something to it's very concerning. If I had to guess, you're never supposed to self-diagnose yourself, but if this doctor keeps saying something's going on with your thyroid, well then that would explain this because this Raynaud's phenomenon is a stage 2. And when I looked it up, it did say lupus, diabetes, thyroid problems. So wish me luck, lots of prayers, because I don't think I could take it, really, to be honest with you. It's even affecting my toes, my feet. So I've been struggling with my anxiety because of it, and I almost had a full-blown panic attack. Got it together. I was actually on the phone with my son Jared, upset, I think I should just go to the hospital, yada yada, so forth and so on. I calmed down, got off the phone with my son Jared. I said, well, let me see what the doctor's office says. They didn't really seem all that concerned. So I thought, occupy your minds so that you don't, get really upset. Take a wild guess what I did. Oh my gosh. I needed to distract my mind that I texted Thomas at work and I was like, hey, can I like wash my SUV? Like run the hose across or is it better out front? He goes, no, you can take it across. So here I was outside washing my SUV after my hands and arms are killing me. But to be honest with you, I wasn't thinking about it at the moment. I was keeping myself busy. But as it was going on, I didn't get the windshield done. Like, I got the whole thing washed pretty much, but I wanted to Windex. I use like a foam cleaner for the front windshield. I wanted to do the outside and the inside. I didn't get to that, and I didn't get to the back hatch window inside or out because I knew like that's enough. But a funny story, my driver thought it was funny. He's like, Mom, I don't mean to laugh, but it is funny. Cars are riding the hose over. Some school buses went by, rode the hose over. Everything was fine. Right at the very end, when I have to like do the tires, this bus was going up a residential street. Couldn't tell you if it had kids on it or not. Doing about 50, 60 miles an hour. Flies over the hose and the nozzle flies off and it breaks it. I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me, right? So it is funny. I understand why Jarrett laughed. So that kind of stopped me right there. And then I figured Jarrett would call me yesterday when he was on his way. He didn't. And he put a lot of the stuff in the back of my hatch. So I started cleaning up the hatch, and suddenly I hear, hey, Mom. And I was like, oh, you're here. I dumped a half a bottle of windshield wiper fluid in. He saw that there was a full bottle. He's like, tell me where to dump it. Because he's inexperienced with vehicles. He's going to get his first car. And he didn't want me lifting it. He dumped it in. There were some things in the back of my hatch that needed to come in here. He carried it all to the front door. So I greatly do appreciate that. And then it was just hugs and kisses, and he was off with my vehicle. I thought to myself after the fact, like, you idiot. You're feeling so much pain in your arms, your fingers. It doesn't go all the way up my arms. It's like maybe goes like to here. And it's like, oh, I just can't explain it. It's just horrible. And yet I was out there washing my car like a dum-dum. Hi, Mr. Joe Morgan. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. I know you called multiple times. But I think our time difference, like when you're calling me, I think it's like 12:30, and I was in bed, especially when you were calling me late. I was probably asleep. But welcome in, Joe. It's good to see you. So yeah, hi Billy. How are you? Happy Sunday. I'm just looking over here. So yeah, I mean, tell me I'm not a dum-dum for washing my car. So that's what I'm going through. And then last but not least on this conversation is I got on the phone with my niece and I completely broke down for the first time, I think, since I've gotten here. Crying. I'm like, I'm sick and tired of picking up the phone, being there for everyone else. I feel like I don't have anyone to talk to. This is what's going on. So yeah, we weren't on the phone for very long. But that's exactly just how I felt. I'm like, I'm frustrated. I'm in serious pain. I don't understand how they figure out what this is. So yeah, I did do that. So let me go read just a few comments. Hi, Blue. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Slower night because Mr. Garden State Gardener is interviewing people. Definitely follow up on that. Now, I'm trying to, Miss Suzanne. I really, really am. I had to go for more blood tests on Thursday, Mel, from a text message telling me the doctor needs me to have it done. It took less than 3 hours to make the appointment and get it done. Yeah, I mean, Friday was like the worst. Thursday, I was on the phone with the doctor's office, call me back, 30 minutes. And I'm like, I want something done about this. You know what I mean? They're like, well, you're late for your thyroid blood test. I'm like, how many blood tests are you going to keep giving me for my thyroid, I said, no, that's this week. They were like, no, technically it's last week. I'm like, listen, I'm going this week, but I need something done with whatever this problem is. And I said to her, can it be detected in blood? And she said no. Yeah, that would have scared me too, Paul. Because usually when they call back like that, like get in here, it's something important. I want to bake a leg or two, says Billy. Yeah, these appointments for doctors are anywhere between 2 and 3 months. It's just insane. But I did make an appointment with a cardiologist. I made that immediately. As soon as I got off the phone with the doctor's office. It's in like Langhorne, Oxford Valley area where Jarrett lives. And he said, when is it? The woman initially said like July the 3rd is the only soonest appointment they could get me in. And then she said, oh, I'm sorry, hon, it's July the 31st. I'm like, whatever, I'll take it. So I'm having some problems with my medical in order to get my mouth done. It's like, they're willing to pull and not do anything else. So I talked to the medical insurance company. She's like, call back next week, which would be this week, and asked them, what's the best like dental plan that you have, like insurance wise? She said, switch, go to that. And then the next thing you need to have done, call back in and go to like, say for like an eye doctor. Well, unfortunately, I can't do that right now because I just gave all my medical information for my cardiologist appointment. So July the 31st, cardiology appointment. I thought that was the best thing to do, is to make that appointment ASAP. So something is definitely going on, and I mean, I know what it feels like when they're ice cold. I've experienced that. I told you all about it, but now it's like this tingling, numbness, weakness in the hands, tingling up the arms. My feet are ice cold. My toes are cold. I'm like, I can't take it. When I woke up and went to drink water, which there's lemonade in this right now, and I went to grab it and didn't have strength and it almost fell. It's been downhill since then. So yeah, getting doctor's appointments take forever now. Oh, you do, Joe? I can't bake a leg. I have no legs to bake. Billy, you're funny. Yeah, we have a 9-week wait here. That's horrible. Blue. It's not really much better here though either. Let's see. Sorry about that, Joe. I hope things get better, my friend. I did feel good because I got to talk to Rooster on the phone. He and his wife, she's a nurse. So two of the other things is like vitamin deficiency, B12, iron. And he said, Mel, I'm into cattle. And I said, yeah. And he goes, a butcher won't tell you this, but go for a T-bone steak for the iron. And you'll get the piece of filet and you'll get the New York strip. So I don't know, maybe I'll be treating myself to a couple T-bone steaks tomorrow. Who knows? So B12 vitamins and iron, but more on a lower dosage of iron for me, because when I took a high dosage of iron before, I felt really sick. But it's worth a shot. Could be a deficiency as well. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, Joe. Dude, I'd be on the phone in the morning, no kidding. Val Mel, do a girl. T-bone steak is a 3-course meal for you. Yeah. Jean, Thomas's sister came over. It's like the second time she did it on Memorial Day, and then today she came over with food. I guess they knew. I was starting to bread some pork chops because there was like a discrepancy here between me and Thomas. He's fighting me for the meats. Like he wants me to cook it all up for him. Yeah, he's telling me to get one of the freezers out of here. Just whatever. I don't even really want to get into that right now and get myself upset. But his sister showed up and she had New York strips, but he overcooked mine. I said medium. And it was like, well, and salad, bread, and like, I guess their version of smashed potatoes, which I'm going to bring that to the channel. This wasn't exactly smashed, it's where you semi steam your potatoes with the skins on, not till they fall apart, like a little fork tender. And then you put them on a cookie sheet with maybe some olive oil. You take the spatula, you flatten them down. You could do it in a cast iron pan too, and you fry them till they get crispy on each side. They had the little potatoes, but they were still good. I like potatoes, so um, yeah, but a T-bone. I don't know. I'm gonna look for T-bones tomorrow if I end up going tomorrow, um, because normally blood appointments for me are first thing in the morning. This is like 10 o'clock, and I try not to hold Miss Debbie up. Be the first time I'm really seeing Debbie in quite a little bit, like a month. So, and then I thought, oh, I should probably postpone it till Tuesday. And then I remembered my vehicle has to be inspected. My son's coming to get it, so I don't know. We'll see. I got most of my adulting. Oh, you did, Joe? You got most of your adulting out of the way? Some taters. I like to fry them. Me too. I love potatoes any way you serve them to me. You impersonate an adult sometimes? Yes, I'm really sorry I didn't answer. It's just a time difference. You can call me. Just don't call me like 11 or after because I'm really trying to get some rest, which is probably your hot hour. But I'm trying to get a little bit more rest and, drink more liquids and things like that. Joe's funny. So yeah, so it was really good talking to Rooster yesterday. In case you don't know, his wife is a nurse. She did verify this is really hard to detect in the blood. I think you might be able to do like an artery type of test and determine, but it does say Raynaud's phenomenon is usually more serious and it's brought on by an underlying health condition. So wish me luck. Lots of prayers for that. Just wanted to be honest. That's what's going on. And quite a few times this week, I just felt like I couldn't pick up the phone and call anyone and get them actually on the phone when I was like freaking out. That's the worst feeling ever. I just felt like I needed to, whether it was the event or cry or whatever, talk to someone on the phone. I couldn't get anybody on the phone. And then my niece, I did get her on the phone, and then she was like, all right, well, I'm going to go for a walk with my neighbor, and I'll call you when I go. She didn't. But when my niece calls me, I drop everything. So I think I'm just frustrated because my anxiety is just getting so bad. This is making it worse. And I said to my niece, I'll even use you as a reference. When you need me, I pick up the phone. You want advice, I pick up the phone. I'll stay on the phone for hours. Well, you know what? Now I need to be able to vent or talk to someone. And she's like, I'll give you a call. I mean, I talked to her for probably about 20 minutes. And then she said, I'll give you a call back after the walk. And she didn't. So, I don't know. I can't. Hi, Laura. My goodness. Hello there. Happy Sunday, girl. So, yeah, so that's the whole medical thing. I'm in severe pain and I'm not going to front it to anyone on YouTube. My hands are killing me. I did talk about it when I did my video for the green stalks. My one's really filling out really well. I got a couple messages on Instagram to save a couple of the cups to plant. Their subscribers. So I did, but I didn't want to have to scoop dirt out. But even just like in the video, me going in there and digging, I was like, it was for me to put out, to really be honest with you. I kept having a gazillion different interruptions, even if you don't see it. It was 90 degrees and humid here, and my phone kept shutting off. And I was like, oh my gosh. And all I was trying to do was get the last of the green stalk done with both of them in it and get that video out there. It broke it into so many pieces that I started it at night, editing it and doing it like early morning, like 6 a.m. early in order to get it out that day. So if you could watch it, I would greatly appreciate it. I mean, as a gardener, I know for a fact I'm missing a photo box keeper because I really wanted to put in like the little jack-o'-lanterns. I just wasn't thinking straight. I think the humidity was getting to my brain. And I wanted to do a watermelon. I was shown a pack of watermelon seeds. I know for a fact Laura sent me, and I really wanted to plant them. And I was going back and forth. Should I? Should I? Finally, after it shut my phone off again and I get back on, I was like, you know what? I know not to plant it, so I'm just not going to do it. But it took me a good 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes to get over that, you know. And I planted some cucumbers. I had extra peppers, so I put peppers in there. But that video, like all the cooking videos I did or building that garden, that was one of the hardest videos because my hands were killing me. People were waiting for that video. And I also had to plant things with people. And I was in severe pain with my hands. Severe pain. So yeah, that's that. I just need it in the door. I'll have to rewind later. You didn't miss much other than it was running slow again. I don't know if I should figure out a different time slot because Mr. Joe from Garden State Gardener is interviewing 3 different people and it, you know, holds up my live. So that was really all that you really missed, Laura. I did think of Laura when I was having like a little bit of a breakdown, but for some reason I didn't think to pick up the phone and call her. I was thinking of like everyone else, like there's no one I could call. I was freaking out, like I mean almost full-blown panic attack. It was horrible. But yeah, and don't forget, well, I did say this in the beginning. Flock Party sent me out this for the chickens, so I'll do a video for them. Veggies and Soldiers, which thank God because my girls are out of treats. They sent me this big old bag of Veggies and Soldiers, which is a blend of black soldier fly larvae, sweet potatoes, and dried tomatoes. So the girls will greatly appreciate that because they're all out of the mealyworms and they love them. I did start, I think I was able to get 2 of the chickens done of like just trimming their wings. The 3rd chicken, I'm trying to keep her calm. I got sore hands. She gets all worked up and she flaps me with her wing right in my face under my eye. I was like, I'm done. It was just one of those weeks this week, you know. So I will be doing a video for Flock Party for sending that out for the girls. They said they sent me out other things, but I never got it. I wish I would have. Because I really could use some mealyworms, but anyway, needless to say. So that was at the beginning, and Boone called me sounding pretty upset. She doesn't want me to feel as if like she's disappearing. She's just been so busy. They're out of town at a party right now, you know, pertaining to YouTube, but concerned like our friendship. She absolutely wants to catch up with me. She misses me. She loves me. She doesn't want me to think any bad thoughts. And I'm like, I am not thinking any of those things. I said, Paul, always post your link when you're not here on Sunday. She's like, oh, you don't have to do that. I'm like, no, your link goes up every Sunday. I said, everything's good. And I usually tell people exactly what I know. You've been really busy. And she has been busy. So she said I had to have a great live. She loves me, misses me, and hopefully she'll be here next Sunday. So big thumbs up for Boone, and Paul Honeyman or Suzanne will post her link per usual. But we love our Boone. You know, you can call or text me anytime, girl. Laura, oh my gosh, like you entered my brain as fast as you entered, it went out because I was almost full-blown panic attack. But yeah, I thank you for that because I may be giving you a holler probably a couple times this week. It's been really bad. Somebody on Sherman Family Farm says Doug and Stacy are alive too. Busy night indeed. I don't watch Doug and Stacy anymore. I just kind of lost respect for her husband. If you follow Appalachian Homestead, it's on there why it had to do with Tractor Supply and the lack of ingredients going into the foods. He apparently came out, called her a liar, blah 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 blah. So he also made a comment about she wouldn't have been able to talk to anyone on a Sunday, and she legitimately had names, and that was uncool. Then he recognized the factor, but he never apologized to her, and I thought that's not good, you know. And their channels just changed like drastically. So I'm definitely not. I don't follow their channel anymore. I may not be inside the house to answer during the day hours. Just text me and I can come inside and answer. Thank you, Laura. You have no idea. That means the world to me. So yeah, so that's that. That's what's going on with this Raynaud's phenomenon. This morning I got up early because I just left Cherokee, my SUV, overnight, and I was having some anxiety because my vehicle wasn't here. But you know, it's just coming because of the pain. But I did pretty good. I got up early this morning and I sat back near the fire pit like I leaf blew it, cleaned it all up, made a cup of coffee, and had an agenda. And I sat there and I started writing out my recipes with, are you ready? The intentions of putting out a cookbook. So when I know further information, I will let you know. But just some loose, you know, that was in like a different book. I started rewriting them, putting them inside a new notebook, trying to get organized. I probably got maybe about 5 written out. But I have a ways to go, but I was just sitting out there with a blanket around my legs because I was in shorts and it's been cooler here, like 90 degrees. The humidity, absolutely horrifying. And then the temperature dropped and we actually got a storm that night that I did the green stalks. Thunder, lightning, they weren't here, so I dealt with the dogs again and then they came in. And they're going to be going away like soon. And I'm going to have the dogs sit. I didn't exactly sit there and drink my coffee. So I got up and I brought it in and I reheated it up. Like I said, I had a blanket wrapped around my legs because it was chilly willy today. We were only like in the 60s. So I don't know what's going on with the weather. It's a little bit goofy. Then I was in the garden for a little bit today. I did a quick video on how to prune basil. If you saw, I mean, I have a video, but I'm going to have a very interesting video coming out. It's going to be on the garden. Like I already have one that I did from Memorial Weekend. I'm going to post that, I don't know, this week. And then I'm going to make a new video for you to see how things are doing in the garden. But I heard a very weird comment, and I'm going to make it dead smack in the middle of my video. I'll write it in there. I was told that I'm growing too much food. I was like flabbergasted. This is a tiny garden. But I said no one ever in today's world. But after a conversation I had with Jean in the kitchen earlier, I was like, yeah, blooms are starting to open up on some zucchini. It looks like there's a little zucchini, but it might not make it if it wasn't pollinated. And she said, I always got zucchinis and I never saw it be pollinated. You know, it doesn't have to be pollinated. And I'm like, yes, it does. I said, it takes a bee, a butterfly, an ant to pollinate your zucchini flowers. She's like, maybe I just never paid attention to that. So I will cut her some slack because of the fact that she's not really a gardener. She's starting to seem like she's losing interest in her green stalk. I said to her, because you need to pick your daikon radishes, they're bolting. She did. I said, what do you think you want to go in with next? Maybe some carrot seeds? She said, maybe. She said, our flowers. I was like, flowers? And she's like, well, yeah, because you're just growing so much food. It's just too much food. And I was just like, said no one ever. So I'm going to add that into my video when I go to do the garden tour. I'm finding every little nook. And she's like, oh, she exaggerated. And I called her out for it. She's like, well, you have 20, like, or 10 Kentucky whiskey barrels in the back. And I was like, I came back around the bend. I was like, really? I'm like, I only own like 2 whiskey barrels. The other ones are just, you know, wannabes. I said, and there's 3, and you put them there. I said, that's a bit exaggerating, don't you think, Jean? So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Jean's been busting my chops lately. And I did say something about it in the living room. I said, first, it's, why do I let Thomas get to me? I said, because he's breaking my kahunas. She said, break them back. I said to her, now you're doing it. She's like, well, why are you letting me break your balls? Or I thought, I'm not going to get in an argument with Jean. So that's completely unnecessary, childish crap that I don't need right now, considering the pain that I'm in. I'm trying to avoid any weirdness or discrepancies whatsoever, because one of the other things that it said for this Raynaud's phenomenon is to not be stressed and not get anxious. What? Like I'm doomed. If that's the case, it gets worse. If you're like a really nervous person or have anxiety, I'm completely screwed. But yeah, so I'll do an updated video on the garden. Suzanne, but what? Right? I mean, I told Debbie that. She was like, what? I mean, I could barely walk in this little garden. It's like necessities, I think, that I put in there. Then I have 2 trellises in the back that I'm trying to grow some squash. And all she cares about is just some Roma tomatoes. She's like a basic person. And zucchini's like a big thing for her. So I'm trying to find all these nooks and crannies to put zucchini. But she said, you don't need a bee or anything to pollinate. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Unless you happen to buy seeds where they're like open pollinated. So that told me everything right then and there, but I just couldn't believe it. I'm growing too much food. She needed to see my other gardens, right, folks? Let me see. Yeah, I hear you, Suzanne. You'll watch them occasionally if the subject looks relevant. Her preserving her garlic, I think it took a year. I did watch that, but other than that, I don't bother with them. No, that is true, Billy. Joe Morgan is a whole other character, my friend. You should check out his videos where he talks and the things that he says. Paul says, the issue on Sunday with Mel. You create videos and her mods will post your links. Yes, that's how it works here. If you come into the live in your channel, we'll post your links. It's my way of saying thank you. Another thing is I saw that Homesteading with Hannah posted a video. I was like, where have you been? So yeah, she may catch it after the fact or something, but in case you don't know and people are wondering, where has Hannah been? It's Homesteading with Hannah. I got her a lot of subscribers. She's getting married this summer. So she put a video out on getting the garden ready. So she does have a video out. You could go over and watch that and getting her bee situated. The bee one I didn't get a notification for, and that was like a few weeks ago. But this weekend, Saturday maybe, she posted a video on what she's been doing with the garden. So shout out. I like Hannah. Homesteading with Hannah. Great big shout out. Maybe one of the moderators can drop her link. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go check her out. Let's see here. Thank you, Paul. How can you grow too much food? Question mark. And who the hell says so? Jean did. She's telling me I'm growing too much food. She's like, between the green stalks, and she doesn't understand, like, things are seasonal. Like, all the lettuce is going to be coming out before you know it. You know, she said, "Phew, it's hot in here, or it's me again, folks." Um, yeah, she doesn't understand. Obviously, today was a confirmation she doesn't get it when she said, I never had to worry about a pollinator. I just would go out and have zucchinis. I said, well, then you got lucky because everything needs to be pollinated. And I had to explain that part to her. She said, maybe I just never paid attention. Fair enough. But that was funny. Actually, I didn't think it was funny. I was a little mad about it, but I got over it. Suzanne did the what? Billy says, link it up, girl. I know, right, Paul? Paul says, sorry, but with all the hungry people in the world today, so many need food, which is true. And I'm not bashing. I mean, Jean doesn't even know, but it's my second incident, pretty bad ones, that I've had with Thomas over the meats. I said, I didn't do all this for you to eat the meats. And then he's over yelling or whatever. And I said, you know, what if my kids need something or my Jared? He's like, tell your kids to go bleep and buy it then. And I was like, you go buy your own. So it wasn't good. It just wasn't good. He's definitely after the meats. So it was brought to my attention when I was first told, like, why don't I stay here October? No names mentioned. Mel, are you sure you're not there for the meats? I mean, that was the topic from the gate, but then this extension's October. So I asked Thomas to measure the freezer. He said he would do it today. He didn't. Jean just wants one unplugged. So I asked Jay if he could fit one of my freezers at his office. That's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. I did ask Debbie if she could help me try to separate it because I had one that was for produce and veggies and like turkey, and the other one was all meats. And the last thing I can do is put my hands in a freezing freezer right now, and nothing over 5 pounds am I supposed to lift either. But I did ask her if she would lend me a hand in trying to organize the freezer. She did say she has a couple shelves empty if I want to use it, like 8 or 10. But I think we should divvy it up, like organize it, and then the one that has the meats can go to Jay's. That's that. I'm not going to be dealing with that. No way. Being yelled and screamed at, it's not happening. About the frost damaging the Georgia peach crop. No, I didn't hear that, Suzanne. Go figure, right? Love peaches. I think she only went to the store today she grabbed a couple things, but once before. And that was about it. Because I'll usually cook and stuff. Now I'm starting to feel like I don't even want to do the oatmeal bakes anymore. I have one more to put out there, and that's a peach one from Easter that I need to get off my phone, and then it's just a tiramisu, and I think I'll be all caught up. Paul Bashful? Never. Yeah, definitely, Suzanne, you're right. She says, and look at the latest drought map. We need food. They just need meat. You haven't seen Suzanne, Laura? I haven't seen Erin. I hope Erin's okay. Thank you, Paul, for posting Homesteading with Hannah's link is on here if anybody wants to check her out. If anybody watches this back, thank you so much. Billy says he wants to sing. I seem to recall that they said the abnormal warm winter affected the number of blossoms on peach trees. The frost killed a lot of the remaining ones. That's a shame. Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about it either. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't get one either, Laura, which is shocking because I saw an older video of mine at Jimmy's at the garden where I said if you see like a little bit of a shiny silvery tinge to my pepper leaves, it is because Memorial Weekend we got a late frost. Not this year. Not this year. Um, as a thief, yeah. Yeah, amen, Paul. And I don't care who says different. Trump should have stayed in office and the states would be in a better position today. That's very true. On that note, thank you. I'm glad that he brought that up. Did you hear that YouTube is changing their policies to where now supposedly you're allowed to talk politics? You can speak your opinion, your views. I saw that on Mark Dice. If you've never checked out Mark Dice's channel, he was a huge Trump fan. He announced it, and I saw it somewhere else. It's like, oh, I saw some comments being like, oh, so we're allowed to have our free speech back for now? You know what I mean? So I agree with Paul on that one. I feel as if that was rigged 10,000%. And I feel like everything went to shit in a handbag. If he would have been in, we would be in a better off position. That is so true, Suzanne. Worse than a thief. Right? Like a thief will be sneaky and do it behind your back. They're doing it right in front of our faces. They're trying to like starve us from inside, you know? So yeah. Did I miss anything? Last winter we had a minus 30 wind chills for a few hours. Really? You were keeping it clean for me. It's all right. It's all good because I totally agree. I mean, I normally never talk politics over here, but look at the state we're all in. Seriously, let me hit this. That we're all in. We all need to pull together. And I think you would have to have something seriously wrong with you, even if you don't have cable, to not see what's happening, whether it's trains, whether it's chemicals. I mean, I could go on and on and on. The food prices, the shortages, you know. For him to say he's running again, anybody that votes for him is out there. It's like, I think there was some craziness going on prior. This is my honest opinion. And I have a best friend that's gay. I don't mind gay people. You be whoever you want to be. It just doesn't have to be shoved down my throat, and no one better ever, ever, ever touch my grandchildren or inflict that nonsense. My kids, my grandchildren. No, I don't stand for that. Glory be to God. You know what I mean? But what was I just gonna say now? Because don't get me on that subject. Oh, he has a whole clan. It's like everyone that's in that White House is complete utter clown. Even the woman that does the talking, the press ones that she never tells the truth. Did anybody hear that she was arrested for a DUI? Of course you didn't. I mean, it was a couple months ago, but I didn't hear about it until I read a lot in the morning over a cup of coffee. And, you know, we need something better. He might be arrogant. He might be, I don't know. He might have put out a couple mean tweets, but you know what? I would take those mean tweets any day over this bullcrap that's going on. So, needless to say, we all have to figure out what's best for us as a country, where you stand. You know, hi, Joe Serrano. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Think of your children, their children, our grandchildren, and don't vote just because you don't like someone. I mean, his policies were good. We're being overrun. I mean, come on now. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, like I said, I don't usually ever talk politics on this channel, but Paul just opened that can of worms, so that's where I stand. Guess you all know what side of the fence I'm on. I'm sick and tired of this whole clown show. Hope this is a better year. Joe Serrano writes the most loveliest compliments, calls me babe, or tells me I'm good looking, or when he wasn't sure if I was going to be gardening, he said it would be like a fish out of water. So that's what you missed, Mr. Joe Serrano, is I was told I'm growing too much food. Craziness. Yeah, just crazy. So I hope things improve and people need to vote with their brain. You know what I mean? And what's going to be best for all of us involved. Let's see. Kids will decide how they are gender-wise. I am offended that they want to shove it down kids' throats. Just saying. I agree. 10,000%. And I think it's really, really strange because 2-3 years ago, I was saying things to my daughter like, something's going on. What it is exactly, I'm going to know in about a week. And I was going down some rabbit holes and I said, they're going to come after everybody's kids. She's like, oh, here you go, Mom. Well, I ended up being right. So I agree with Suzanne. But he writes really good comments, Joe Serrano. Lovely comments. Sometimes they're like really, really long, and I feel bad if I only write like a quick thing. But, my goodness, my friends. Lots of prayers that hopefully there's some type of resolution to this situation that's going on. Because I said, like, Jean says 2 of her friends have it, but I don't think it's to the severity that I have it. I'm like embarrassed too, because I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Rich Life is posting off grid with Doug and Stacy. Am I gonna have to wear gloves like in the summer? Oh my lord. Hopefully the doctors can figure out what's going on. That's true, Paul. Paul just said that Trump is the only president to take office and not take a wage. That's a patriot. He didn't take a penny. Is exactly right. Oh, Joe Serrano said, at this current moment, he's watching an ad. A Nortino singing with a rocker, both Mexican. Could be Mexican equivalent of Bruce Springsteen, he said. So yeah. I feel like I'm at the point now where like, I'd always try to watch what I say and not cuss and, not talk politics. Let's not talk religion. But you know what, folks? Listen, I'd rather believe in God and Jesus before I believe in, any clown show. And all this worshiping of the devil type of stuff is very, very freaky. I'm not down with it. I don't want to see it. I mean, freaks me out. I'm like, these people are nuts, So yeah, so that's my little rant. You're winning her over. She's going off me, and you're growing more and more on her. Laugh out loud. Paul's heartbroken about what? What did I miss? So yeah. I actually, I just saw Paul, he said my heart was broken in 2014, Laura. 14, let me think. Mine's probably been a little bit longer. Yeah, maybe like, I don't know, 2000, whenever I called off my engagement to my fiance. That's that for me. I haven't really dated anyone. Well, no, that's not true. I did. A friend. There's a reason why they tell you don't date a friend, because that stuff doesn't work out. But since this, I haven't dated anyone. But I'm also a woman that doesn't need a man. That's just the way that it goes. So yeah, weird topics tonight, huh? Welcome to Mel's Live. We're talking about all off the wall crazy stuff. Anyway, back to my morning. I think that was good for me mentally to go back there and go sit, take a cup of coffee, wrap a blanket around my legs because I was like, it's shady back there. And I was like, holy canoodles, it's chilly. I think it was just good for my mind. And sitting there writing up recipes. So I'm going to have a lot of work to do with getting all my recipes together. I have recipe books inside storage. I have some recipes still up in my brain. Get it all together, get a publisher, and come up with a cookbook. Gardening for me, I just feel is like, I don't know how to explain this. Gardening started off as like a hobby de-stressor for me. It became like my form of therapy, and it's just like this knack that I had, love gardening, love it, love it, love it, just like I love cooking and I love baking, so oh, so yeah, so I'm gonna have a lot of recipes to write up, and I think that was good to sit back there, stay away from him, for a bit, and just clear my head as much as I possibly could. And then I realized he wasn't here. He went to some Facebook marketplace thing, him and his sister, and picked up, I don't know, this furniture that has to go down the shore. So now on the outside of the garden where the ladder is, there's now furniture sitting there with a loo tarp over it. It's like if it's not the lawnmower, it's, I don't know how some people live the way that they do, but it will be a blue tarp in my video until they can get that furniture down the shore. Hello, Free Hanley Maid. How are you, sweetheart? Well, darn, I'm going to need to catch the replay. I didn't get the notification. I don't know why, honey. I'm really sorry. You didn't really miss too much. Flock Party sent me out this. Well, I guess maybe you did. Even that hurts. I have Raynaud's Phenomenon. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. And I'm not getting any answers. I'm in a lot of pain with my hand. But I did a video for you on the green stalks. They're officially done, and you need to see how they look. Nisi, in case you didn't already see it. But welcome in, welcome in. Let me see. She says, I'm doing good. I saw my first ever bell pepper buds tonight, 3 of them on one of my plants. Awesomeness. That's great news. Like I said, well, you weren't in here. I checked mine. Wait, Paul, you're always with Mel. Absolutely, Joe Serrano. That's 100%. Paul is my main man. But maybe just a little bit you might have missed in the beginning, Nisi. But you can always catch that. But yeah, so the green stalks are done. Go check that video out. I think the leaf one, when you see the growth, it's amazing. But I'm already trying to think in my head, like, some things may need my help. So I might see about getting, I don't know if he's ever saw them. They're like about this big and the top swizzles. Maybe I'll invest in a few of them in case I need them for some extra support in the green stalks. But the green ones looking fabulous. The other ones all planted. Things are really looking good. But after I got that video done, it was pouring. Well, that's not true. It was lightning and thundering here so bad, then it started pouring. But when I went in the garden today, the peppers had buds on it. I actually see one pepper. So stay tuned for the video. And quite excited to see some blooms on the zucchini. So exciting times, Nisi. I'm so glad that you're seeing buds. You're doing great. Let me see. Yes, please check out Free Hanley Maid. There is her YouTube channel link. Thank you, Nisi. I appreciate it. My hens got a couple of my tomato plants and they stripped them. Oh no, I almost had dumplings. If it had not been for my kiddo, they would be in the pot. Girl, It's kind of funny, but not funny. I hear you there. I did say in the beginning of the live that my chickens, three of them were bullying one chicken, and I yelled over, like, knock it off. And then they were doing it again. And I went in and I'm like, you better stop bullying. It was flying up at me too. I said, you better knock it off or you're going to end up for Sunday dinner. I kid you not. If I had to do it, I would do it. Do I want to do it? No. So I think they're getting bored. I need like a bigger chicken ball that will hold like a cabbage head. I only have a small one. I think they were just getting a little bored, a little mad because I didn't have any mealy worms or whatever. But was that all your tomato plants, Laura, or do you have more? Paul says, phew, pouring was not what I thought you said, Mel. Laugh out loud. That's what I said. Pouring. Farm Solution Catalog 2023 sounds interesting, my dear Mel. Even your ads are cool. Really? I don't think I've ever seen my own ads. Well, that's good to know. Thank you for watching the ads or the commercials on my channel. It really helps me out, helps the channel out greatly. Much appreciated. Nisi says, all my lettuces are looking good except my spinach. My spinach is struggling, and I had to dig one up and get rid of it. It had this white foamy stuff, and the leaves were brown and yucky. Okay, let's troubleshoot. The foamy stuff, I'm not really sure. It could have just been like one plant that just had a fungus on it. You still have cooler weather, so I mean, it shouldn't be time for your spinach to bolt. The more you cut your spinach leaves, the more leaves you will get. Don't forget that. And the leaves were brown. Yeah, it probably has or had some type of bacterial, something wrong with it for sure. Just not flourishing. Give them some fish emulsion. Are they in ground or are they in a pot? Where do you have them at? Yep, they did mine also. I didn't have a leaf left anywhere. Oh my gosh, Laura, I would have freaked. My romaine and kale look great, and I have a lot of butter crunch growing now, so that makes me happy. Nisi, you're doing so good. I'm so happy for you. Do you remember my butter crunch in my raised beds? Like one butter crunch was like this big. I mean, I just had found out that they wanted me to stay here till October, plant a garden. So obviously it's not the same. Their soil's not the same. But my tower's doing pretty good. I did do a harvest video on the bottom, which is like a leafy lettuce. I bring you along for that. And I'm just going to leave it alone. I want to see if it'll come back. I just grabbed it as if you're cutting somebody's hair, and that's what I did as a cut and grow again. I have it in the back because it stays shadier back there. And two of the cups, I'm talking about my other leaf, I harvested some of the arugula, and I had a salad, so that was good. But a lot of my salads are still in there. And we'll have to see what happens. Worst case scenario, if it bolts, well, then the chickens will have more greens. So, but I miss having like the big heads. But that all sounds awesome, Nisi. You win some, you lose some in a garden. That is true. That is true. Laura says, no, I have more, or they would be in the pot regardless. I love her. I'm sorry to laugh, but you would have to know Laura. I don't know. We're both like feisty, and she means what she says. I kid you not. If it wasn't her for her boy, trust me, messing with her tomato plants, they would have been in the pot. Yeah, did you pull them out, Laura, or are you going to wait to see if it grows more leaves? I had a chicken break the top of the head off of a pepper plant, which people do that to their own pepper plants. I disagree wholeheartedly. I never prune my pepper plants, and y'all see mine are like enormous, and I get a gazillion peppers. Well, I guess we'll see how it works this year because one, the chicken, as I was moving it, they were free ranging and nipped the top. And then a slug got to one and nipped the top. So I can see it's pushing out the sides, but I'm not interested in that. But I guess I'll pay attention to it, see how it does. But I think when you're pruning your peppers and everybody's like, oh, it'll give you a bush or a plant. What it's doing is it's focusing more energy into spreading out and making more leaves than going up and producing more peppers. So, but yeah, people can do whatever they want. It looked like bubbles. Really weird. It looked diseased, so I pulled it. Yeah, it definitely had some form of disease. They're in the ground. Give them some fish emulsion. Also, slugs can leave like that foamy type of look. So maybe a slug got to it, but I really want to say I think it was just an infected bad plant. But if you don't feel as if they are generating fast enough, they might need some fertilizer and mulch. Spittlebug, says Suzanne. Joe says first time after club. It buffered. Had to exit and re-enter, but we'll have to catch the first part as a replay. Okay, thank you, Joe Serrano. I so appreciate it. I think they may because they didn't hurt the stems at all. The stems on them still look perfect, so I didn't pull them. I guess we'll see what happens. That's kind of a good idea. I didn't have patience. It was weird. Their garden, like one particular hole, it was like I'd put a tomato in, looked terrible, absolutely horrible. And I let it go, figured it's transplants, shock. No, died. I pulled it out. I put another one in. Same gosh darn thing happened. Same thing happened the third time. I was like, what is going on here? Put the fourth tomato plant in, perfectly fine. It's doing better. But I also had one hole, and the peppers did the same identical thing. It's like where the tomatoes are was just one hole that I lost like four or five tomato plants because I kept replanting it in. Same with the pepper. And I went in with some black kale. Well, the tomatoes, so you all know I do the egg in the hole. Job's, no epsomas, organic fertilizer, and then a little bit of black kale. This year, because it's someone else's soil, I went in with blood meal and something else. And bone meal to powder. I did do that just to help because I knew the ground was lacking things big time. So, go look for a picture. Yeah, I'll have to do that too. I'm curious. I know you never want to pull it when it looks diseased. I'm sure. I hope you wear gloves. Well, when I garden, I always wash my hands. I have a nail brush right at the kitchen sink. I start off good. Sometimes I mean, now lately, because of my condition with this Raynaud's, I've been trying to wear these gloves because they're like a little bit tighter on my hands, but I really need a pair of heat compression gloves for these hands. I cannot even explain. I think it started off, a couple fingers being cold, complaining of a little bit of pain. Then it dissipated completely. It wasn't even there, and it came back with a full vengeance. Oh, she had called me before live, Joe. She's out of town. Misses everyone. Doesn't want me to think that she's going to ditch me on YouTube, which duh. And she wants me to send her a text this week because she so wants to catch up with me. She loves me. She misses me. Have a great live. And for you all to know, she's not going anywhere. She's just been so busy. And I said, I never even thought of all these negative things. She was spitting out a lot of different negative things. I mean, and she sounded a little upset. Like she didn't want me to think that. She didn't want me to think that. She absolutely loves me. I'm like, I don't think anything negative at all. I just know you're busy. She's like, okay, because I'm feeling like really bad and I'm not going to be like Lauren, not Laura. It was a young girl that used to mod in the beginning, which I'm not going to talk poop on her. But once she revealed who she was on YouTube, she did like a couple videos, but then she disappeared. And she brought her up, and I just thought that was like shocking because I didn't even know she even remembered that. But we love our Voon over here, don't we? Yeah, really pleased so far. This is only my second time trying to grow anything. Well, I think you're doing really, really good. You can find me on Instagram. If you have Instagram, you can find me on there, leave me a message. I mean, if worst case scenario, I'll leave my cell number. I don't really care about giving out my cell number. If there's a gardening question or an emergency you have, you can just call me. No big deal. No, it didn't, Laura. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to see like heads about that big in my broccoli. Laura said my broccoli did bolt. I'm just glad that I planted so much. I got like 40 to 50 heads of broccoli already, but I also lost that much or more. I'm hoping mine don't bolt because I obviously didn't plant. I'm not planting like I used to, obviously. So for somebody to think I'm planting too much food is just crazy nonsense. I think I have 12 planted, and some of them are starting to form heads, and others I'm not seeing anything yet. You dang right. Nope, I left them. Good. There's the link for the spittlebug, Nisi, so you can look it up, or anybody else that wants to see what a spittlebug is. Yeah. But your temperatures will stay cooler longer, Nisi, right? What's your grow zone? What was I just gonna say? So yeah, I deal with slugs at this garden, decapitating things, or eating holes in some leaves. I mean, as a gardener, you're going to experience things every year. Something's going to be great, something's going to be bad, some things will be good. I did show it on the Greenstalk planter videos. I started to see these black specks, and I'm like, wait, what? So I was taking them off all underneath the leaves of my bush beans that are inside my leaf Greenstalk. I'll be a son of a gun if I didn't flip a leaf over. I'm really not sure yet. If you see the video, maybe you can help me out because my mind's not thinking right lately. It is either the Mexican bean beetle or I think it's a harlequin bug, because I saw the harlequins last year and had the Mexican bean beetles, if you remember. Just one. Only one. And I was like, no freaking way. So I did a separate video on it, like you're never going to believe, and I show it. So I just have to take the time to relook it up. My gut is telling me it is not the Mexican bean beetle. I just don't think it is. I think it's the harlequin. When you see a harlequin beetle near any of your food, you need to stay on top and check it behind the leaves constantly, because from experience, I saw like a couple on my Brussels sprouts. My Brussels sprouts were infested with the harlequin, and they do make their way throughout your garden, and you will see your leaves just look dead. That's the harlequin. If a moderator wants to put the link up for the harlequin beetle, I mean, I think that's probably worse than having the Mexican bean beetle, is my honest opinion. So it's one or the other. So I saw one and I was just like, no way. It's following me. Whether it's the Mexican bean beetle or you'll see the video this week. Where are you going on vacation at? She says, hopefully they don't bolt before I get back home from vacation. You could use a shade cloth. I mean, that helps. A couple weeks ago, so it might have been. Yeah, they usually will take the tops off of things. Plus, they can nibble on some leaves and just make a plant look sickly. I think slugs do that. Mel Joe's just finished his live. Okay, thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. But it was so long. 10:23 since 7 o'clock. Craziness. Craziness. I'm going to have to give them a call. I'm going to have to figure something out. Um, I don't know, because I don't want to lose my moderator or moderators if I was to pick a whole different night. I don't know, but yeah, it's causing a problem now. Um, yeah, it's probably, it could be that, Nisi. Have you tried kombucha squash mill? No, I thought you were ready to say kombucha. I actually left my drink in the other room. I was drinking I think, peach and something kombucha. I really want the kit, like the thing that holds it and the mother. I want to make kombucha because it's expensive to be buying it. Bought one the other day and just planted some seeds. Wish me luck, Mel. That squash pumpkin is true to its description, so creamy and sweet. Shut the back door, really? I'd like to try that squash. He says that it is creamy and sweet. Well, good luck, my friend. I hope it works out for you. Oh, my tomato plants look so good too. So I was fuming when they got the few plants that they did, especially when those things get so much food to begin with. Yeah, I like to act like gluttons, the chickens sometimes. I left a while ago. I had Sherman family farm running until they finish. That's cool, Suzanne. What I used to do is I used to sprinkle salt around some of my plants. Shut the back door. No way. Country Road Cure. Well, well, well. I don't even bother to comment anymore. Welcome in, welcome in. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not too late of seeing your hello, Bacon Leg. Just seen you were live. Hello, Anthony and Roxanne. I gotta be honest with you. I was in a couple of your lives and I left like a question. I told Roxanne she could come to me for anything that had to do with gardening or just whatever. And I am watching your videos. I'm just not commenting. Like I saw you were on vacation, but good to see you, my friends. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How the heck have you been? Well, he's actually been doing pretty good. So yeah, I just wanted you to know I'm still watching. I just feel like on some of the lives now, there's so many people in there. It's really hard to see everyone's comments. So I'm not going to take it personally, but happy Sunday. Good to see you. You know who I really miss? Mel. You need to tell Mel and Gary, especially Mel. Like, I know they're busy building their house, but hello, come on over, say hello. Hit me up on Instagram, something, you know. Miss y'all. I didn't get to see the video of Roxanne saying leaving for a week. I know it has to do with the garden, but I will watch that. I usually will watch certain people at night. Acre Homestead. If I didn't catch you guys in the morning, then I'll watch it later, but I'll watch that video on the garden. But if you ever have any questions about gardening, Roxanne or Anthony, hit me up anytime. And I got chickens too, and I don't know who has the better coop. You might have a bigger run, but mine is called the Fluffy Butt Hut. I have chickens. Okay, so back to that. You can do some salt around your plants, not on top of them. Slugs don't do well with salt. You know what happens, they blow up. Country Road Cure saying hello to Paul. Everyone say hello. It's a Country Road Cure. We are just having just a smaller little live tonight. It's starting to turn into Mr. Garden State Gardener, who's a really good friend of mine. He goes on 7 to 9, and I go on from 9 to 11, usually. But he started this new thing where he's interviewing people, and he's running so over, like he just got done at 10:30. and it really like has been slowing down my lives. So I may have to change nights and times. I don't know. I don't know. So we're just all hanging out here. Smiley face. Yeah, absolutely. Check out Anthony and Roxanne at Country Road Cure. If you're into homesteading people, plus they have a farm. They used to live in Las Vegas. They just went there on vacation. Go over, go watch a couple of their videos, leave a comment, give it a big fat thumbs up, and yeah. I think he's just got rabbits too, didn't you? Rebuilt the hutches for the rabbits. Or is that Mel and Gary? Getting confused. You're in zone 5. Okay, yeah, so it stays cooler for you longer, Nisi. In the mountains, yep. So we are between a 5 and a 4, depending on how the season goes. Yeah. So you'll get a little bit more time out of your spinach. You'll be fine. And I'm a 7B. That's right. You can never count on the weather when you're gardening. You just have to roll with it. Are you getting invaded by squash bugs like we are? No, not yet. Last season, I got invaded by 2 new bugs that I never knew about. I had to do research. One was the Mexican bean beetle. So if you're trying to do, which I would recommend, bush beans, you get a lot more beans off of bush beans. Check behind the leaves. People in Texas call them the Texas mustard bug. I never saw them a day in my life, and I've been gardening for 35 years. They were horrible. They infest your plants. They basically will turn the leaves all into skeletons. And then the second bug is the harlequin beetle. So check those 2 bugs out. Squash bugs, it's a little too soon for squash bugs here. Nasturtium, I'm trying this year. I don't know if anybody else has ever done this, but you, I guess you can plant some nasturtium plants in like a little cell, plant them out, and you plant them very close to your squashes so that they kind of vine around your squashes, and it's supposed to help with the squash bugs and the squash bournworm. So nasturtiums, my friends, lots of nasturtiums, and put some marigolds near it, and it's going to be, I'm not sure if I'm talking to Roxanne or Anthony, but you're going to have to go out there. You ever see one of those things you put on your finger for paper? Every morning, once in the afternoon and one at night, until you can get it under control. Just don't use chemicals. That's my suggestion. Maybe some soap and water, but I think they're so resilient to soap and water, it doesn't even work. So you need to get out there and pick them all off. If you start seeing the stem of your squash plant looking a tad bit yellowish, it most likely has the squash bournworm in the inside. Now, I have taken one apart, dissected it, and found worms inside mine, but there's a way now where you can put a little slit in the stem of your like squash plant, zucchini plant. You can go in there with a pair of tweezers and actually pull the worm out, and just put a little bit of like sports tape around that, and your plant will be okay. But my honest opinion, and who has the time for all that? You know what to do? Always have backup plants. Start some more zucchini plants or squash plants. Because if these get infected really bad, you want to have backup plants. Don't put them in the same spot. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, I've had them for a while now. Me and Paul Honeyman. He usually likes to talk about my butt, and he's a real character. It's just more of a chill night tonight. But my other moderator, Boone, is away. So, and we have Suzanne. Say hello to Suzanne. Watching her since way back in the day. I know, but I haven't seen you in a while. Rox loves her. Oh, I love Roxanne. We have been having problems with our eggplants. Lots of holes in the leaves. Any suggestions? That is like a flea beetle, is exactly what that is. That you could just, a little soap and water, spray the underneath of the leaves, or you can do, I wouldn't say do full powered blast, but take your hose and go underneath the hose to make sure you have, it definitely is like the little flea beetles. I've had plenty of holes in my eggplants and got a wheelbarrows full of eggplants. It just all depends on how bad the leaves are. If some of the leaves are that bad, you can cut them off. I would try some soap and water first, and then rinse the bottom of the leaves off. Companion plant, things that are like good marigolds, nasturtiums. I don't know off the top of my head right this moment. Go figure. But you can type in to Google what is a good plant to plant next to eggplant, like whether it's an herb or whatever. Just don't ever plant mint in a bed. It's so evasive. To try to help them. I've done mint in a pot next to it. I can't honestly say that the little flea beetles ever like took out my whole plants. So I don't know. I'd have to see a picture. I did send you my number a while ago. It's on Instagram. You can get me over there if you want to take pictures of your plant and send it to me to Instagram. That would make my life a whole lot easier on figuring out what's going on or dissecting, what's happening. But that's definitely just like a little eggplant flea beetle, little soap and water. Yeah, the harlequin bug, do they? The National Park Service has a great picture of the harlequin bug. I'm telling you, you don't want the harlequin bug. I had it last year and it made it over to a green stalk. Because I was like, why is my lettuces looking like that? They literally suck the juice out of your plants. It's just crazy. They will kill everything. Yeah. That's good. Thank you, Paul Honeyman. Suzanne, you're on top of that. You can type it in. Can somebody get one of the moderators? I don't know if you're willing to do this. Type in eggplant flea beetle. I think that's what people call them. But yeah, you can definitely Google it. Like I said, I plant my eggplants really close together. There's times I get holes. If they're immature plants, it's not good to get a lot of holes. As they get older, you can get buku amount of holes and still get a lot of eggplants. But I'm also a square foot gardener. I plant a lot of things very close and I like to push the envelope. And it always usually works out for me. I'm staying somewhere else. I'm using their garden. And believe me, I had to put my square foot gardening knowledge to work in order to garden here this season. Whole other story, my friends. Any kind of worm or bug? It's probably most likely not. Looks like Bugs Rocks was getting last week. Okay, thank you for posting that. Small, tiny green bugs. That's them. Never seen them before. Yeah, it's like the eggplant. I call it the flea beetle. But it's the eggplant version. They're like little green. Like I said, go in with some soap and water. You can Google it. Mel, we do try to answer all comments. It's hard. I know. We have been watching you since Vegas days. We appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you and Roxanne, or Roxanne and Anthony. Just wanted to put it out there that I'm still watching. But I'm watching it on the TV, like user gamers, right? So you'll understand this through an Xbox. You can't leave a comment. Bingo. That's what I watch it through. Because, I'm a modern warfare kind of gamer. That's like my favorite game. So I'm watching. I'm seeing what's going on. I just wanted to put it out there for why you don't see a comment. Under the next one, when I go to see the plants where she's like this in the picture, I'll leave a bunch of hearts. I'll leave you a little comment. Let's see. Hi, Miss Tina Ladybug. How are you? Happy Sunday. Oh, Texas. Okay. To visit family, 3rd week of June. I'll be driving with little man. It will take about 2 days. I'll be gone. Just you and little man are going? You're going to go see your sister-in-law, right? That's going to be a fun trip, Niecy. Yes, everyone, go over and check out Miss Tina Ladybug. I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous about leaving my garden for so long. Do you have a neighbor or anybody that can maybe look after it, give it some water? That might be your best bet. I mean, it is a rough time to be leaving, I'm not gonna lie. One of my coops that have that on it, Mel. The Fluffy Bud Hut. Last one in is a rotten egg. I know, I love that. Absolutely love that. And what an alarm clock you have, Mel. Yeah, did you see that? If not, everyone go check out my short. I was so busy with doing the green stalks that day, I could only get a short up. Friday it was. And I said, why buy an alarm clock when you have this and you hear my chickens? So go check out that short. I would greatly appreciate it. Joe just said, Fluffy Bud Hut. And what an alarm clock you have, Mel. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, everybody's weather is so different. A lot of people seem to get Roxanne and me mixed up with Mel and Gary. They do? Well, I definitely know the difference, obviously. I think Melanie would fall over if she even heard a piece of what's going on in my life right about now. But yeah, that's crazy. People always call me Gary. Do they really? You definitely can tell the difference. Definitely do not look like Gary or vice versa for sure. The only thing you have in common is the beard. I can't see why they do that. Yeah. Right. Gary don't look as old. And he's like a stick insect next to you. That's funny. I mean, he really is very skinny. I mean, I'm a thin woman, but he's this pretty skinny dude. Anthony's like taller and just bigger bones. Not fat, he's bigger bones. Right? He's big bones. He's just a little underweight. Roxanne has dealt with the boerworms. She did surgery on them last year and saved them. Yes, yeah, I told you you could do that. I just choose not to. And to really be honest with you, start planting some more squash plants. You have plenty of time. And you know what? Put it in a cell tray and stick it right outside. That's how I got them in Germany here. Stick it outside, put the seed in, water the tray, part shade, part sun, leave it out there. They'll germinate out there, and then you can transplant them back in. I mean, if you're having that much of a problem. Just want to make sure, though, sometimes that particular area, they can stay within the ground. So you might have to pick a different spot of the raised bed to put some fresh new plants. You always got to outthink them. But here's a little tip for everyone. I think we just talked about this, like 2 Sundays ago? Okay, let me think what it was. The Blue Hubbard squash I had planted and completely forgot. If you're not familiar with Blue Hubbard squash, get some ASAP. Don't plant it directly in your garden. Plant it like diagonal from it, or a few just near it, just not in it. Why do I say that? It's because the Blue Hubbard squash attracts all the squash bugs. It attracts the worms, all the bad things, and it leaves your squash plants alone. Okay? Blue Hubbard squash. So I dug mine up from where I originally had them, and I moved them kind of to the left to where the fire pit is here. I think I put 2 in, and they're doing fine. So it's sort of like sunflowers. You plant sunflowers for the pollinators, and also like the bad bugs get attracted to it, just like they get attracted to the Blue Hubbard squash. It's like a deterrent. So keep that in mind. I did a surgery, but I just didn't bother to save the vine borer. I had Jay cut it open. If Boone's away, Paul can play. Yes, you can. You don't grow zucchini, really? Or squashes at all? Soapy water helps me to control the squash bugs last year. Be persistent. Yeah, it definitely is. Hi, Mr. Garden State Gardener. Happy Sunday. Welcome in. You ran so late. 10:34, my friend. Oh my goodness gracious. From 7 o'clock. That's exhausting. I have a recipe. Anthony. Okay, here you go, my friends. I did a recipe way back in the beginning of YouTube days. Let me think for a second here. I can either remake the video since it's so far back. And I remember, so it's a pot of water, garlic, lots of onions, chili pepper flakes, soap, and I brought it to a boil. And I used that when I, because I'm an organic gardener. I'm just trying to make sure it had everything in it that I could think of. I might have to remake my recipe and do the video, but it's stinky and they don't like it. And I put it in a sprayer and I would spray my squash leaves and stuff with that. It's onions, garlic, water. You obviously have to let it cool. You'll drain off the onions, the garlic. It's a lot of like cayenne peppers, or you can use chili pepper flakes. Bring it to a rolling boil. I think it was Dawn dish soap. You let it cool, drain the stuff off, and that is your bug control for the entire season. I mean, I concocted it because I used it for years. I'll have to make a video and make the recipe again to be exacto. Everyone's saying hello to Mr. Joe. Paul's saying, long live tonight, Joe. It's an understatement. There it is. Thank you, Paul Honeyman. How to identify and get rid of the eggplant flea beetles. I knew there were flea beetles. Oh, there's an issue with the sprinkler. I'll be back if I can. Okay. Thank you. All good. It's hard for us to comment on a lot of people's videos, so I hear you. I hear you. Or sure it's no, I got a slap. I told you, look at the leak video. You'll be in heaven, Paul. And you'll probably get a good laugh. Alarm clock. My dang roosters have been starting at 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, but did you see my short? Who needs an alarm clock when you have that going on? Uh-oh. Paul's trying to start something. Gary grows a better beard, he says. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Put up a curtain. Can't believe all the dry weather. Thunderstorm at the shore, not a drop of rain at my house. Boo. Well, we got poured on. 90 degrees on Friday, but the humidity was god awful. And then it was like the heat, lightning, and then the thunder. That was pretty bad. And then it started pouring. But now we're getting like cooler temperatures at night. I told you put up a curtain or something. Had to turn the water off manually from the main shutoff downstairs. Have no idea why the sprinkler did not shut off after the time was up. Oh, never a dull moment with equipment. That's the way it is. My garden's very wet now. That is one tip right there, Nisi, in case it is slugs. Don't water so late because you want to give your plants a chance to dry a little bit before bedtime, because then the slugs come out and they like that moisture being wet. Don't water late at night, and water your plants from the root. Sorry to tell you that, but water your plants from the roots. Zucchini plants, squash plants do not like to be watered from up above, and neither do tomato plants. Water them from the root. It's a known fact. Let's see. Go look at the drought map, Joe. Lots of areas abnormally dry. Yep. I planted sunflowers outside my garden, but they are just now sprouting. Well, that's good, because I think I had a squirrel come and eat the heads off of some. The only thing that gets my sunflowers are the birds, so I plant marigolds and other stuff also. Well, I'm hoping the dogs don't tread on the sunflowers I put here. Trying to grow some for the chickens and for the pollinators. Inside the garden, I have 1, 2, 3. I think I planted 4 sunflowers. You have to attract pollinators to any garden. I did borage, sunflower, and calendula. Wow, really? Live went to 9:30 after the live. I just eat dinner, totally exhausted today. Oh, I'm sure. No, I thought Miss Suzanne was like, okay, Mr. Joe's done. And I looked, it was like 10:34. I was like, what the heck? Let me see. I'm way out in the country here, Paul, so nobody hears them but me anyway. Make them stop, but since it's hot weather, yeah, you can't put that over. You'll be cooking them. Don't go inside the coop anymore. Hello, CR, saying Melanie. Melody, just like music, but that's okay. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. I hope that you had a great weekend. Creative Redundancy, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Everyone say hello to CR. I'm watering right now. Oh no. I'm just trying to tell people, like, don't water when it's dark out, because then the slugs and all the bugs, that's where the problem comes in at. Tomatoes just overall do much, much, much better. Definitely tomatoes don't water from up above because they get early blight and stuff when you do that. Water them from the root and any of your zucchini or squash plants. My pepper plants, I water them at the root sometimes over above, and they're fine. Let's see. Bad girl, I watered tomatoes from above. Oh no, stop doing that right now, or you're going to see a lot of blight on your tomatoes, big time. It was autocorrect. It's okay. Welcome in, welcome in. And I'm caught up. So yeah, I hope everyone had a great weekend. And let's see, so to fill you all in, blood test tomorrow about this Raynaud's phenomenon. It's just getting horrible. And Block Party sent me out some yum yums for my chickens. So I have to do their video, which it'll also be a quick video over on Instagram for Flock Party. So that was nice of them. Writing all my recipes for cookbook. What's coming up? Monday Cuteness Overloads, always Monday. Hello, Kinfolk Farm. Veggie Soldiers. Yeah, I've never gave them to them before, but welcome in. Long time no see. They sent it out for the girls, so great big thank you to Flock Party. How you been? Oh, I'm hanging in there. Things have been better, but I'm hanging in there. I hope you're well. Hope the family's well. It's been a hot minute. Happy Sunday. I hope that you had a great weekend. Yeah, Suzanne, water like in the morning at the root, and then earlier in the evening. Like I would say no later than like 7 o'clock, no later than 7, preferably 6, because then your plants will have time to dry out a little bit, so that they don't get diseases and the bugs don't, like the slugs and all don't want to, have a free-for-all. Mulch helps tomatoes very much, sure does. Mulch is a gardener's best friend. If you're in what is it? Upstate Washington, and you go to use mulch because it's really rainy there all the time, it's not a gardener's best friend because they have slugs galore because they burrow in the mulch. Isn't that crazy? Yes, everyone check out Kinfolk Farm. I've known him for a while. Met him through Crazy Ed. Thanks to the mods working hard. Yeah, a little bit more of a low-key live. People are not getting notifications, so I don't know what to do about that. I wanted to go back to doing it on my laptop so people would know, or I'm a little tired of asking people to share it out, so. But I'm usually on every Sunday, 9 till 11. And you're welcome in anytime. Laura said we have slugs so bad here also. Really? It's probably from the humidity, I'm assuming. But yeah. Did anybody do anything exciting this weekend? So the garden's doing good. Stay tuned for that video. Laura, you're getting sun and rain there. We're getting the cooler temperatures here. Like I was dying on Friday doing that video. 90 degrees and so humid. Oh, Lord have mercy. Like I can't take that straight out of the gate. It's too much. And then I told you the heat, lightning, the thunder, and then we got rain. But Debbie, she lives like 5-6 minutes from me. She didn't get any rain. So very weird weather. Anyway, so back to chickens on Monday. I have stuffed pepper video for you. Garden video of the garden, not the green stalks, you know. Plenty of sun. It's been so hot and humid here the last few days. Yeah, it's going down into like the lower 50s here at night now, which is so strange, you know. But what are you going to do? It makes me so glad that ladies have legs. Otherwise, we couldn't tell the difference between the slugs and the ladies when tracking them down, says Paul. He's too much. He is too much. So yeah, you see like Anthony, Roxanne, you know, are coming in here, you know, the question, like, I don't know. I feel like that is like that's my Josh right there. You know, gardening, obviously, like I said in the beginning of this live, gardening is my thing, and cooking and baking. There you have it. All rolled into one, and that's what this channel's about. Now, with the chickens being a year old and having all hens, one of them or two of them broke 2 eggs the other day. I think they were just so like ticked off at me, but someone's going to keep breaking eggs and they're going to end up in the oven for Sunday dinner. I don't know how to catch them though, because I have 3 that look alike, the Wyandottes and the New Hampshire Reds. They all look alike. I think I'm going to have to get those little teeny bands, Laura, for my chicken's legs so I can see who's the bully and who's cracking some eggs. But it's my fault though too, because I forgot to collect the eggs. And they just want this one nesting box, and they were probably moving them and cracked them. Left me the shells in there and the mess, you know. So, what are you going to do? Oh, let's see. I've already pruned the lower parts of the tomatoes. Now, I did mine today, and I also pruned my basil already. CR, which actually that's going to be the garden video you're going to see is from Memorial, like weekends, maybe like that Friday. I'm going to post that Tuesday. Peppers will be Wednesday. Then the basil, me pruning the basil, so forth and so on. Every day a video. I'm back to that, except Friday with the weather here and it's shutting my phone off. I didn't even have time to upload a video. I just put a short out on like, why buy an alarm clock when you have this? And it's my chickens all in harmony. Whether they were alerting me of something or what they were doing, but that's some serious racket. I'm glad I don't have a rooster. I wouldn't be able to deal with it. It's too much. And don't forget on your way in or your way out to give this a thumbs up if you watch this back. After the fact, I greatly appreciate it. And I am on a book. I wanted to show you this. I don't know if you ever saw this, Joyce Meyer. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Battlefield of the Mind, Winning the Battle in Your Mind. Excellent, excellent book to read. I am actually on the chapter 3, Don't Give Up section right there, because you know I'm all battling a couple different things. So I just got onto this chapter. So good book. Let me see. I'll just tell you quickly like what this book is about. A war is raging. Your mind is the battlefield. Worry, doubt, confusion, depression, anger, feelings of what the heck? Oh, condemnation All these are attacks of the mind. If you suffer from negative thoughts, take heart. Joyce Mayer has helped millions win these all important battles, and she can help you too. In her most popular bestseller ever, now with newly updated content, the beloved author and teacher shows you how to change your life by changing your mind. She teaches you how to deal with thousands of thoughts that you have every day and focus your mind to think the way God thinks. And she shares the trials, tragedies, and ultimate victories from her own marriage, family, and ministry that led her to a life transforming truth and reveals her thoughts and feelings every step of the way. Now it's your turn to gain control over your mind and find freedom and peace. Recognize damaging thoughts and stop them from influencing your life. Be patient with yourself even when you make mistakes. Arm yourself with the Word of God, praise, prayer, and other powerful spiritual weapons. Overcome your mental wildness, the bad attitudes, excuses people use that keep them from God, and find undreamed of happiness and fulfillment. Don't surrender to misery another day. Find out today how to guarantee your victory in Battlefield of the Mind. I just started this. You all know I have anxiety. So I thought, wow, I forgot that I bought this book and I just never read it. So I took this out back earlier and just started like reading over who she, donates the book to and so forth and so on. She dedicated Battlefield of the Mind to her oldest son, David. So yeah, it has mind is the battlefield of vital necessity. Don't give up. Little by little. Be positive. Mind-blowing spirits. Think about what you're thinking about. When is my mind normal? A wandering mind, a confused mind, a doubtful, unbelieving mind, an anxious and worried mind, a judgmental, critical, suspicious mind, passive mind, the mind of Christ. My future is determined by my past and my present. So I will get back to you. That's just some of the contents. This is what the cover looks like, and I thought that that would be a good read. Might be my summer read. Never, even with anxiety, it doesn't hurt to try to, help train your brain to think of different things. So seems like it'll be a good book to read. Thought I would just share that. Lars, as we were in the pool yesterday evening and the wind started and it got dark, we thought we were getting a big storm, but nope, nothing had cleared up and we didn't get anything. Wow. Really, Suzanne? That's terrible. Yep, see, Lars said for me to ban them. You can fix their beaks to where they can't break the eggs anymore. Definitely call me on that. I might need you to walk me through that because, yeah, absolutely. One plant has 0 leaves left. Luckily, it's leafing out now. Well, that's good. I have garden videos for this week too. Everyone, go on over, check out Creative Redundancies videos. If you've never watched any of the videos, leave a comment, thumbs up, at least on 3 so that it counts. And I noticed YouTube lately, I mean, I'm kind of bad at it too. I can't tell a lie, but a lot less comments for sure. So really make an effort to leave a comment, just like I said to Anthony and Roxanne. But they're like a really big channel, And when you're watching it through an Xbox, it's really hard to leave a comment. So, show some grace with some channels, but go over, show everyone support, and watch the videos, leave a comment. I'll definitely be over to check it out. I love garden videos. I have that book, Mel. I've had it for several years now. Really? And was it good? Because when I was cleaning out my hatch, it was in a backpack, some books, and I pulled it out and was like, there's that book. Over 4 million copies were sold of this book. So I definitely want to read it. Was it any good? Hello, Miss Lori. How are you? Happy Sunday. Miss Lori's World in the house. How are you? Hope everything is good, and I hope that you had a great weekend. Suzanne says, can't keep up with everyone's video, too many subs. We'll try to get over to your channel this week, CR. Here's another thing. Some people think you can do videos that are 15 minutes. Not all videos are going to be 15 minutes. If it's interrupting your day, do what I do. Specific channels I love. When I'm done what I have to do, I like to lay up in the bed. Like, I'll watch Becky from Acre Homestead, and she's like 54 minutes long, some of her videos. It's what I do. I'll catch up on, people at night, if they're longer, like the vlog channels, Roots and Refuge, Becky over at Acre Homestead, that 1870s Homestead, they went a little bit shorter because they're not really gardening this year, so their videos are a little bit shorter. But then I have my regulars that I like to watch in the morning over coffee. So yeah, that's how you can solve that problem. And seriously go through your subscribers. If you're not relating to every single channel, you might have to clean up some of your subscribers. I'm just being truthful. I'm subscribed to so many channels, I've never even heard of them before. So I have to do a major cleanup on my subscriber list. Congrats on your win at Jesse and Lisa's live. Oh, you won, Miss Lori. Congratulations, my friend. But Creative, I'll be over there with coffee. Mel, sorry to say this. I know. You never win in a battle for your mind. You are in a constant battle with yourself every day. I don't know, Paul, because I'm a pretty strong-willed woman. And I feel like something's starting to make me crack at the seams a little bit, Obviously, I deal with anxiety things, but I refuse to let something knock me down. And that's why I need to figure out what's going on with this thing with my hands, because that's starting to lead into some stranger thoughts, scary thoughts, you know what I mean? Like you're going to die type of thoughts. So, yes, everyone, check out Miss Lori's Worlds. So what did you win, Miss? Wait, let me see. What did she win? Oh, you didn't say what you won. What did you win, Miss Lori? But I understand what Paul's saying. How's your hubby? How's Meemaw doing? Everyone's saying hello. Still in the hospital, apparently. They should have used a different device. So now they want to do a second surgery to fix the first one. Oh my goodness, Miss Lori. I'll be praying for you. Everybody, lots of prayers. Prayers. Normal. It's a whole lot more normal than yours, Paul Honeyman. A little fresh, a little dirty sometimes, but yours is a little bit worse than mine. Let's see. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Yeah, I really hope she recovers very quickly. It's a shame. Oh, you're so welcome, CR. As a matter of fact, I don't know about this thing tomorrow. Is that weird? Because I haven't heard from Debbie to confirm or not to confirm. Worst case scenario, I'll do my running out blood test Wednesday and my errands on Wednesday. Because my vehicle's getting inspected on Tuesday by my son. Oh, some of their vanilla? That's interesting. I would love vanilla. I would just love vanilla. You sticker. Cool. 2005. Yeah, not the depression part, but I felt like I was fair warned some time back. Like, see, my feet are starting to hurt. Not to let my anxiety lead to a panic attack, because then they were afraid I would have a nervous breakdown. So that scares me. Very therapeutic. I absolutely love it. But the reason why it's acting up now really bad and me feeling like I'm going to have a panic attack is because I've been fairly recently diagnosed with Raynaud's. There's like a stage 1 from what I'm learning about this thing, and then stage 2 is Raynaud's phenomenon. It's the coldness in the fingers. I'm losing like strength in my hands. It's tingling going up part of my arm. I couldn't even lift my cup the other morning when I opened my eyeballs to take a sip of water. And I had trouble taking the creamer out of the fridge, and it's in my feet, the tingling and the coldness, and that's freaking me out. My mind goes right to heart, right to heart. When I'm by myself, it kind of scares me, just not used to it. So that's the contributing factor for why my anxiety and nerves are like worse. So, but I love gardening and anything to do with plants. And baking is very therapeutic too. It really is. I love my garden. Miss Lori says it's my peaceful place. Yep, I would agree. Yeah, so I have to figure out what this. It's not detectable through blood. And last but not least, because I did discuss this in the beginning of the live, but if you're just coming in, when they told me at the office, like, I think my question was, did you see this in my blood work? They're like, no, it's not blood detected. I thought she was a liar. And I went under and I started doing some research, and it's really hard to detect it in the blood. It's usually a sign of an underlying problem, whether it's thyroid, lupus, what did it say? Lupus, diabetes, thyroid problem, artery problem. Could also be a vitamin deficiency problem of B12 and iron. There's like a list. So I'll start off with the vitamins and the blood test again on this thyroid. So I don't know, just lots of prayers because it freaks me out. It's amazing to see what you can do with seeds and what you can grow. I said earlier that where I'm staying, she said, you're growing too much food. I thought to myself after I had to walk away from it, I said no one ever. So, yeah, Miss Lori's world, I don't know. It's kind of freaking me out. So, yeah, so that's the recap. They're going to do another test of my thyroid through the blood. So, keep you posted on that. Say lots of prayers for this. It's a weird feeling. It gets numb and tingly, and they're cold and they hurt. I even thought maybe rheumatoid arthritis or something, because I use my hands all the time, but nah, it's not seeming like that because it's in my feet and my toes too. So when I went to urgent care for it, that's what they diagnosed me with. And the doctor said that's why they call it Raynaud's phenomenon, because it's a phenomenon. But yes, absolutely, Paul. Love you to pieces. Was I just going to say, okay, Mel, time? That's what it was. Okay, so Mr. Paul says, okay, Mel, time for me to rest up, sweetie. They can get you sorted ASAP. Yeah, I hope so. Love you, Paul. Go get your rest. And as far as anyone else is concerned, you have any gardening questions, you can leave them underneath of the video. You can find me on Instagram. Nisi, you can get me on Instagram. I'll leave you my cell number. And don't forget to support our fellow gardeners and go check them out. Go check out CR. This is going to be my book for the summer that I'm going to be reading, is this Battlefield to the Mind. Just thought I would tell you what the book was about very quickly before I hop off. I also wanted to show this. I thought this would be something a little fun to do. Keep the mind busy. Every little thing is going to be all right. It's a guide positivity journal. Look at this thing. I might have to stand up for this. I'm just wearing a halfy sweatshirt. It says Paris on it. But look at this. This is so interesting. You open it up and it says healthy routines, 3 ways to relax at night. You write 3 ways. 3 ways to start my morning off right. Today I will be grateful for. Things I love about me. There's spots you can write in it. What you're looking forward to. goals. You can write goals in there. This book is amazing. What are the positive lessons I've learned from working towards my goals so far? Gives you a whole section you can write in it. So I found this at Ross. No, I found this at TJ Maxx some time back on clearance for $4.50. Can you see that? So, and it's really, really cute. It's Molly and Rex guided journal with assorted full color pages. Oh, look, my cucumbers are in here that I just planted. But yeah, really cute. So I'm going to do this as well to try to help myself. You know, I thought that that would be a little fun thing to do in the summer. And I have my summer read picked out. I'm a speed reader, so I don't know. This one might take me just a little bit longer because I'm doing this for myself, but if I come up with another book for the summer to read, I will recommend one, but this is the one I am recommending because it had a lot of good reviews. Hello, Miss Ann Dale. And then this Every Little Thing Is Going to Be All Right, where you can actually just write things in the boxes of what it asked you. I thought that was a fabulous idea. So on that note, hello and good night all. Been watching on TV, popped in this, hit the like and say hi. Hello, Miss Andale. Yes, honey. Great steaks for your tomatoes, by the way. And love you. I hope you didn't get my comment, misconstrued it, but just been missing you, you know. I've been in yours and over at yours. I just have to not do it through an Xbox because then I can't leave a comment. But I love you, Miss Andale. You know that. Laura says, hey, Mel, I have to take my little guy to his swim meet at 9 in the morning. If you're up, I'll give you a call and you can keep me company for a couple hours. Girl, I'll be up. Absolutely call me for sure, for sure. It was nice to see you all. See, that's funny. CR. That was a good one. Free Handley Maid saying goodnight to Joe. Mr. Garden State Gardener. Have a great week, everyone, and stay safe, said Paul. Lots of hearts from Miss Andel. So lots of prayers from Mimo, Miss Lori's World. Prayers about these hands. Listen, I'll take this. Just X-nay on the chest pains. Yeah, I hope everybody has a fantastic week. And stay tuned. And thank you to Flock Party. You'll see the video for that this week as well. I almost forgot to tell you. Thank you to Flock Party. There will be a video for that on my YouTube channel, and I'll make a little small one for Instagram. Okay, I'll call on you around 9:30 in the morning. Sounds good. I think I'm going to postpone my thing till Wednesday. So it's getting late, everyone. I love you all to pieces. I wish I was a spring chicken like I used to be and stay on longer. Like if I know in advance, I would, but yeah, I'm kind of on the tired side. So busy week ahead. Miss Andale, go look at my 2 green stalks. Go look at what I'm doing with those bad boys just as an experiment. Take care of Mel and others. Thank you, CR. You as well. Free Handling Maid. Check out the green stalks. I was thinking of you when I was out there sweating my butt off, girl, to get that done. So you could see everything was in there. And Miss Lori's World saying God bless everyone. So on that note, I'm just going to hold up my book, if everybody's all right with that. And I will see you throughout the week. And I'll catch you next Sunday. If you're not getting the notifications, turn the bell off and then return it back on, and maybe that will help. And if you're watching this back, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to leave lots of comments. Hope you all get rain and sun for your gardens. Amen, CR. Love you all. And I will catch you, like I said, throughout the week and next Sunday, 9 Eastern. Love you all. I hope that was a good one. I hope you get rain. My garden looks great after getting some rain. But on that note, I gotta go. Love you all. Bye, friends. And good night to all the great moderators. Thank you.